Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge in financial freedom. Today, I've got one headline that I wanted to talk about, and that's a massive short that was closed on Bitcoin. So we'll dive on into that one after we get you prepped for some success today and take a look at the stock heat map, break down today's data, and take a look at that liquidation heat map. And if you have any alt requests for me, go ahead, drop those in the chat. I'm going to do another short show. As you can probably hear, my voice is still not 100%. So I figured instead of trying to struggle through some of those articles like I did yesterday, we just do some TA. I did see that massive Bitcoin short, though, and I kind of want to touch on that. Other than that, I'm all free for some TA today. So go ahead and drop those requests in the chat for me. Let's hop over to that stock heat map. We are seeing a bit of a mixed bag from yesterday. We do have Apple sitting up 0.24%, and the pre-market looking to take back all of those gains, sitting down 0.22. We've got Nvidia sitting up, but sitting down 1.76 in the pre-market, sitting up just a little bit, up 0.11. We've got Berkshire Hathaway sitting up 1.63 in the pre-market, also sitting up 0.09, so looking quite neutral. We do have Amazon sitting down a 1.12 in the pre-market, getting hit a little bit hard, down a 1.09. We've got Eli Lilly sitting up a 1.39 in the pre-market, also sitting up 0.26. We've got ExxonMobil sitting up a 1.66, and in the pre-market sitting up 0.64. We've got Tesla sitting down quite a bit, down 4.79 in the pre-market, also sitting down quite a bit this morning, down 1.74. We got P&G looking at that positive for the close yesterday, up 1.07. And in the pre-market, looking quite neutral so far, down 0.02, so not a massive change there. We do have Microsoft sitting in that neutral range as well off of its close, up 0.04, and in the pre-market, sitting down just a little bit, down 0.47. We've also got Google sitting down 0.63 off of its close yesterday. In the pre-market, looking quite neutral so far, down 0.16. And we've got Meta sitting down 0.44 from its close. In the pre-market, also sitting down 0.44. Let's see, we've got Donato Cabrera in here. We've got Alexandra G, the mod queen. Good morning to you. And I see Crypto Bedell as well. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a great day so far. I appreciate you, Alexandra G, saying feel better. I've been trying. I don't know what's going on. I got smacked around this past weekend by something, and it's been a struggle to get back to 100%. We've got that crypto market looking quite red on the daily here, sitting down 0.8% on Bitcoin, sitting down 8% on Ethereum. We've got XRP sitting down at 2.7. We've got BNB sitting up just a smidge, up 0.1. We've got Solana down 3.7. We've got Cardano down 2.3. We've got Dogecoin sitting down at 3.6. We've got quite a bit of green here for the outside of that top 10. Tron sitting up 4.5. Leo sitting up 0.9. We've got Chainlink up 0.7. And we've got Toncoin up 2.3. We've got Stellar Lumens down 0.6%. High network down a whopping 14.6%. We'll have to take a look at that chart here in a little bit. We've got H-bar sitting down 2.2. We've got Avalanche up 1.8. We've got Shiba Inu down 4.3. Sui sitting in that neutral range down 0.2. And we've got Mantra up 2.6 on that daily. Let's hop over to those fear and greeds. We've got the stock market back in extreme fear. Oh, yep. Stock market back in extreme fear, up a point from yesterday and 22. We've got that crypto still sitting in fear at 34, up 2 points from yesterday, as we're looking to hold this range that we've been moving in. We do have a little bit of liquidity to the downside, kind of right around one of those targets I've been talking about wanting to hold. That's at $82,000, almost on the dot there. We do have a little bit of liquidity sitting to the top side of us on this 3-day look, sitting at 85,100. 85,150. That's right around an area I've talked about needing to turn into some support on a higher term time frame chart to continue with the bullishness. If not, we do have that liquidity sitting right to the bottom side of us on that 3-day as well. That's at 81,900, which would be a quick easy grab for the market makers to make before they really try to push back up to the upside. There was some potential for some upside with that big short that was opened up on Bitcoin. Looks like he finally closed that position out, so we will hop into that one here in a second. You have the 2-week looking like it's got a bit of liquidity to the top side now. 85,400 ranging all the way up to 85,750, and another light hotspot above that at 87,500 and ranging all the way up to 88,000. So a bit of a hotspot to the top side, which we could grab once we clear out some of that shorter term time frame liquidity. Let's hop back into the chat. I see a few more people showed up. We got Kyle Fields in the chat. Good morning to you. And we've got Moonbag saying good morning, blessings to all. Hope you are having a great day so far. Let's hop into this Bitcoin chart. I did have this pulled up on the daily here. It does look like we are at a crucial point here. We do have your MACD moving quite sideways with our indicator line here on the bottom side of things. You do have a bit of a divergence stacked up as you've made a lower high here, but on your prime oscillator made a higher high. We are waiting for that money flow to kind of come back in and rescue things. As you've seen, it is just a continued slow sell-off on Bitcoin. You have been seeing some ETFs buying though, so there is a little bit of hopium down at these prices, especially with some of the other news that I had seen. I didn't want to muddle my way through it with how my voice is sounding and how I butchered some of those articles from yesterday. So if the voice is feeling better tomorrow, we will give y'all the bullish news. We do have the MACD sitting at a very crucial point as we are moving sideways. Your indicator line is starting to get some movement to the upside here. So if you can see some money flow coming in here on the 4-hour, you could potentially see that nice movement back to the upside here. If not, I am looking back at the top side of the CME gap like I had talked about yesterday for a very strong bounce and continuation back to 85 to 50. That's where a lot of that liquidity is residing to the top side as well. So we would need to turn that into some support on your higher term time frame here. Let's zoom that on in to our 4 hour, see where we're sitting there, and see what the day might be bringing our way into tomorrow as well. You do see this MACD looking to cross your 0 line here, your indicator line also dragging to the bottom side here just a bit. You do have positive volume though, so waiting for some of that money flow from a shorter term time frame to really come in with the volume here on our 4 hour might give us that support down here at that 81 area of liquidity and push us back to the top side there. Really going to depend on how some of this data comes out as well. You do have building permits, prelims, and housing starts, so that will be coming out at 8:30 Eastern time. Other than that, there's not really any heavy data until Japan's interest rate decision, which is looking like no change, just like ours is looking like no change tomorrow. So big market mover for the week is going to be tomorrow. Looking for a bunch of sideways movement until then. You do have that 1 hour also looking like it's trying to find that bottoming here. You do have the prime oscillator rolling back over. Your volume is starting to pick back up as some buying volume, but your money flow is continuing to slowly come out here. Your prime oscillator rolling back over here in that dark red all over again, and your MACD looking to try to get that curvature back towards the upside here as we start printing some lighter red candles. Looking for that strong bounce here to the bottom side. You have a bit of a range here where we have very equal candles at 82,000, almost on the dot there. It's 82,100 and comes all the way down to that old CME gap I was talking about. Let's zoom that on in to the 15-minute and see what the morning might be bringing our way. I do see a few more people in the chat. We got Arsan246 in here and maybe a Band-Aid. All right, go ahead and drop some TA request for me. I'm not going to be doing a lot of news articles today. My voice still isn't 100%, so I figured I might as well not butcher some news articles. So go ahead, drop those requests in for me. I am going to be doing a shorter show, so I'm going to try to get through as much as I can. We do have this 15-minute looking like we're trying to get that pushback to the upside here. Your money flow is still red though, so that's going to need to switch back over to the green here if we really want to start breaking some of these equal highs that are sitting right above us at 83,500. I see Sol requested. Let me get that on the list there. We got Solana, and I'll wait for those other alt requests. You have this strong area of resistance here on a short-term time frame and a 15-minute, which is going to be 83,500. That'd be that first area. On that 15-minute, I would look at turning into some support. If we don't see this money flow start coming back in here on our short-term time frame, as we are getting this curvature back to the upside, might look for that flip to the green either at 83,500, and if it maintains that red money flow, look for that to be a resistance area and that continuation back down to 81,300 to grab that bottom side liquidity on the daily before we try to push back up to 85,250 and our liquidity to the top side there. I did want to talk about this very quick article here. I'm not going to read it very much. There was a whale. Oh, let's get to the first one. Big Short, a massive Bitcoin whale ups the ante. We've got, according to data provided by cryptocurrency analytics platform CoinGlass, a massive Bitcoin whale has increased his short position to an eye-popping 515 million on the Hyperliquid platform. In fact, it is now believed to be the largest Bitcoin short ever. As a report by U.Today, the whale opened a short position of 332 million with 40x leverage last week, causing a significant stir. After facing a multi-million loss on Monday, the trader has made a stunning comeback. His current unrealized profit stands at $643 million. And he ended up closing that short out quite recently. A Bitcoin whale has closed over a $500 million short position, betting on Bitcoin's price decline ahead of a much-awaited Federal Open Market Committee (FOMC) meeting this week. A large crypto investor or whale made nearly $10 million in profit after closing a 40x leverage short of 6,210 Bitcoin worth over $516 million, which functions as a de facto bet on Bitcoin's price fall. We all know what leverage is here. So the savvy whale closed his short position within a few hours, making $9.46 million in profit from Bitcoin's decline. The whale opened the initial 368 million position at 84,043 and faced liquidation if Bitcoin's price surpassed 85,592. The whale managed to turn a profit despite having to add 5 million to his short after a publicly forced team of traders started to hunt his short position's liquidation, which ultimately failed. Looking at on-chain in March 17th's post. So closing that short, you might see a little more downside. He could have made a little bit more money there, but looking like he might have made that right decision as we wait on those FOMC minutes to kind of potentially push markets back to the upside. If we kind of hold that position, we are looking at some potential strength in some of the TradFi markets as well, off of a no interest rate decision and some slightly positive data this past week. I see Crypto Billy in the chat. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Arsan246 saying, oh no whale will be enough enough for the market makers. Yeah, apparently all of that money was not enough to send us back above this key level I had been talking about and turn it into some support and head back to the upside. So he was quite ballsy there. That was an area I had talked about. He ended up entering like right there and then made a whole bunch of money on that move to the downside there. So was unable to get liquidated. I think he exited back over here somewhere. So definitely made a little bit of money on that. Almost got liquidated though. They were really hunting him down. And are there any other alt requests for me for the morning? I had Solana. I did want to take a look at gold. I've been talking about it quite heavily. And as you can see, we are back up to the upside and almost hit that target I was talking about yesterday, and that 1618 on our Fibonacci extension. I was looking at $3,036 for that next target on gold, and it looks like we're potentially going to fall short just a little bit here unless we can really see that continued money flow staying quite nice on our higher term time frame. 15-minute getting a bit of a rollover there on the money flow. 1 hour also getting a little bit toppy here as you've seen our second reversal signal start flashing. Money flow just starting to pick up there though, so could be a potential for that push up to $3,036 before we make a little bit of a retrace here. Try to turn this key area of 3,000 into some very strong support on a higher term time frame. That'd be that area I'd kind of look for all over again. You saw a brief bit of selling action as soon as we had broken that $3,000 level. And that'd be that next area I would look at for a retest. You saw a bit of selling pressure right above that before we really mustered some support below us on the top side of this Fibonacci extension. cooled those oscillators off just a bit here in this range and pushed back to the upside. You have your volume picking up on that 1 hour in the green as well. So looking for a continuation to the upside on gold. You do have the Dixie also breaking back to the downside here. You do have the potential to find some support before our FOMC minutes at that 102.93 range that I had talked about yesterday. Finally switching back to the green here on our daily chart on the prime oscillator. Right here, just switched to the green here as our volume is slowing down on some of the selling pressure. You've got your MACD getting that curvature back towards our indicator line, really waiting for that break to the upside on that. I got OM and ETH requested, so let me get those added to the list. OM and ETH. Waiting for that break of our indicator line and a move back to the top side here. Might come right around those FOMC minutes tomorrow, so be watching for that. All right, let's hop into those alt requests. Got about 10 minutes that I can do. I don't think the voice can go any longer than that today. We've got Solana requested, so let's take a look at that one. Looking like we're finally finding some support here on the short-term time frame bounce that I was looking for. That's that 123 area that I had talked about needing to get back above. We did make some action here down at the golden pocket before really moving back up there. We had that being a slight area of resistance before we got back above it with some strength. Got back above our higher term time frame area of support that I had talked about, which is $130 before we lost it quite heavily here. Tried to make another retest at that, and then another retest again before really losing it there. Looking for a strong bounce here all over again, as our MACD and prime oscillator are both pointed to the downside there. We've got your money flow being quite red, but your volume being quite green. So just a quick switch over on that money flow as we curve back up to the upside could get us that move back to that 130 range. We do have a bit of a resistance area right above us at about $126. Let's get that short-term line drawn out there. That's going to go from these wicks and those candle bodies there. That'd be 126.57. That'd be that next little area I would look at for the short-term time frame to get that push back up to 130. Let's see what that 1 hour and 4 hour are saying for Solana. That 1 hour looking quite at a decision-making moment here. You do have your MACD moving quite sideways with our indicator line here as we're starting to print some light red candles on that oscillator. Looking for that money flow to really come back in, just like on that 15-minute. You are getting a bit of some curvature here on our prime oscillator, but it is sitting light red as your volume is starting to pick up as some buying volume. So to see our money flow kind of head back up towards the top side here would be that move to watch for on that 1 hour. Might need that second touch back down here at 123. If you're unable to maintain that 123, I would look back down here at our golden pocket all over again. Potential for a bounce though at that 120 range. Let's see what the 4 hour is saying for us. Looking like you might see a little bit of continued downside on the macro. You do have those FOMC minutes that do have the potential to kind of switch that back to bullish tomorrow though. So looking to maintain this range here as we have been moving quite sideways with Bitcoin this past week so far, and looking to try to maintain that sideways movement on Solana as well. We did break the highs and are looking to kind of maintain these lows here. So waiting for that money flow from that shorter term time frame to really bleed over into our higher term time frame. We had OM requested. Let's see. I was saying OM, not asking for the not asking for the ticker. Well, we can also take a look at it. Either way, we got Ethereum requested there. So let's take a look at ETH. I've been talking about some lower levels for ETH for quite a while now, and it looks like we got a triple topping action on that $1,938 I was talking about needing to turn into some support here. This 4-hour chart looking like we're heading back to the downside after printing some very light green candles on our oscillator here, and your MACD line looking to break to the downside on our indicator line. You have a divergence stacked up here as well as our money flow continues to come out on Ethereum here on that 4-hour. Your volume starting to pick back up here as some buying volume though. So looking to potentially maintain this area. Does look like this 1,938 is going to be a key battle level here for Ethereum. Let's see what that 1 hour is looking like there. You do have us a break into the below our zero line here on the MACD. So with that prime oscillator also looking in the red and rolling back over here, you are potentially looking at another very equal bottoming point down here at 1,824. Let's get that short-term time frame bounce line drawn out there. It's going to be 1,826, where I'd look for a potential small bouncing to send us back to the upside and see that money flow maintain green here on the hourly as our volume starts to pick up back up. Really cool off that prime oscillator and MACD as well. MACD's pointing very, very strongly to the bottom side, but could really see a quick switch with some curvature back towards the top side if we see some strong money flow coming on in. We are maintaining this green here on the hourly quite nicely, so looking for the cool off as we maintain that positive money flow. Let's see what that 15-minute and the morning is bringing our way. Darren does things in here this morning. Good morning, good morning. I see Jesse in the chat as well. Good morning to you. Did you get some sleep there, Jesse? Normally you're here extra early. We got Darren does things saying morning all. BC was a bit early today. No, so I am switching my times back to the old good morning crypto times of I guess that's a 6:30 Eastern time. I was thinking Central time because I'm Central, but we're back to that 6:30 Eastern time because I'm going back to work. So really got to start that show a little bit earlier so I can get to work on time. So if I were to vote for a ticker to look at, it'd be ARB or Magic. Those are a couple of my bags. Well, I can take a look at ARB after I take a look at ETH. Finally had some sleep, BC, says Uncle Jesse. Well, I'm glad to hear that, says. I'm really glad to hear that. You're everywhere, and you've been exhausting yourself, sir. All right, this 15-minute looking like we have the potential to make those equal bottomings happen. There is another little area at about 1,870 where you could see a little bit of bouncing action, but your prime oscillator is looking quite red here. Your MACD line just broke below your indicator line, and we're starting to print some red candles here. Your money flow is coming out here on the 15-minute. Your volume trying to maintain some of that green volume. You get your first reversal signal, so you might see that action be to the top side first before we really come back down to that 1,826 level. All right, let's take a look at I guess ARB for you. Barshan Baba. All right, I believe ARB is in my favorites list. Let's find it there. I guess it's not in my favorites list. It might be in my extras list. OP. Nope. let's just pull it up that way. ARB on the crypto. There we go. I guess I didn't have it in my favorites list at all. We're going to take a look at it. On Coinbase, it's going to be a naked chart. So let's get that pulled up from the daily look and see what we're looking at there. ARB breaking to the bottom side here. Continuing quite a bit of some downside movement there. Potential for some bottoming though, so you do have that MACD pointing back to the upside, or prime oscillator pointing back to the upside, and very green here. So let's get a fib pulled up from the highs to the lows there, looking for a break towards the upside, and you do have some strong resistance up at that 236. That'd be that first little area I would look for on the macro. Your volume is starting to pick back up. Your money flow looking like it's heading back towards the upside here. Looking for that green money flow. True 7's a little bit toppy there. Looking for some sideways movement as we maintain that movement back to the upside. Let's see what the 4 hour and the 1 hour are sending our way. Looking like it's a little bit toppy here on the 4 hour, so you might see that bounce back to the bottom side. 29 cents before you see that push back up towards our 382, and about 52 cents there. Have very, very strong green volume here. Money flow barely breaking into the red here, so really waffling back and forth on that money flow here on the 4 hour. Looking at that 1 hour, you do have that potential for another bottoming area here, making some higher lows though. So if you can continue that trend, it does look quite bullish. Looking for a little bit of a higher low all over again, but with the way that 4 hour was looking, you might make a little bit of some equal lows down here at that 32 cent area. Let's see what the 15-minute and the morning are bringing our way. Looking quite like Solana there. Getting that curvature back towards the top side here. We've got a bit of a divergence on our prime oscillator as we're getting that curvature on our prime oscillator as well, but we are sitting in the red. Money flow waffling back and forth from red to green, looking like it's rolling over just a little bit here. So potential to get that strong bouncing down at about 34 to about 32 cents. That'd be that area I would kind of look for Arbitrum on the short-term time frame before we really continue back to the upside. All right. Thank you to everyone that tuned in today. Hopefully we can do a full hour for you tomorrow. The voice is starting to get back to where it should be, but any chance for a dump, says Nishant. Well, it really is going to depend on how the markets start pricing in that FOMC decision. I think it has been priced in on that no change for tomorrow, so looking like we might see a little bit of some sideways action. That's what I've been looking at. Maintaining our CME gap to the bottom side of us at about 81,200, and maintaining that top side range at about 85,200 as well. Kind of some sideways movement. Really let these oscillators cool off on your higher term time frame, and give a chance for some of that short term money flow, which we've started seeing on ETFs, really bleed into these higher term time frames. You have whales closing short positions, so potential for some upside if we can cool off some of these oscillators there. Other than that, make sure to tune in to the rest of the Piper Academy. We've got the morning market report at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Piper will be breaking down today's data. That's dropping at 8:30. We've also got Trade Academy at 4 p.m. Eastern Time with Trade Intuition. He does an amazing job of teaching y'all how to do some TA walking you through his thought processes. It's always a fun time at that Trade Academy. We've also got Markets After Dark with Lunar Beaches Crypto at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure to tune in for that one as well, or go watch it if you're an early riser like me and you always miss out on that. We'll see y'all in the Alexo Crypto chats here in about an hour. I will drop that morning motivational video for y'all to check out after the show is over. Crypto Billy always dropping those before I get started. Make sure to give that one a thumbs up and subscribe to his channel if you aren't. He starts out the mornings quite nicely with those morning motivational videos. Everyone, make sure to wake up because today's going to be a good day.